Welcome back to the Albertan Voice. I am your host, Kyle. Today we got some American politics going on and some strangeness going on between Elon Musk and Donald Trump. Elon's accused Trump of going to the Epstein Island, which is very concerning for the rest of us. You have to take everything with a grain of salt, though. These are things that are not fact. They are just speculation at this point. Basically, we're going to watch a clip from Sky News Australia, about 9 minutes long. We're going to keep her short here for a Friday here. And they'll go over a few things here. Then we'll look at a tweet from Elon saying that they need to start a new Democratic Party. And it has over 5.5 million votes on it. So we'll look at that tweet after this video, and then we'll shut down the video for today.
All down is Fox News contributor Joe Concha. Joe, thanks for joining me on this, well, very slow news day that we're having in the United States. Tell me, what the hell is going on with Donald Trump and Elon Musk?
I think no one can tell you what's going on with Elon Musk and Donald Trump at this point. I was at Mar-a-Lago New Year's Eve, and I saw these two men sitting next to each other at the president's table. And they were talking nonstop. They seemed to get along so well, not just in private, but in public as well. They seem to have the same mission in terms of cutting waste, fraud, and corruption from the U.S. government. It exists in every government, basically, especially here. And then this just kind of came out of nowhere, quite frankly. Elon Musk, in terms of being a temporary employee of the government, leaves and suddenly started doing interviews where he was sort of kind of
things of beauty,
insulting or not insulting, at least criticizing the administration. And then suddenly on social media over the last 2 days just exploded completely, where at one point he's accusing Donald Trump of being in the Epstein files. So this is not something that I think could be repaired at this point. The question is, can Donald Trump get his big, beautiful bill over the finish line to his desk? And
what I find interesting, too, people don't realize that Elon's got a lot to lose in making accusations like this online. It could bring him legal troubles. It could get him kicked out of the United States. It could have his companies blackballed. Like, look at all the progress they've made in SpaceX. It could say, get out of our country, be gone with you. And Elon would have to go set up shop somewhere else, and that takes a long time, especially with how many Tesla gigafactories Elon has going right now. He's got one in Texas and one in Florida, I believe, and those buildings alone are like $1 billion a piece. So Elon stands something to lose by saying these things. So there's more going on behind the scenes that we're not privy to.
And Elon Musk, I guess, I just don't know. I wish I could tell you what's going on, but no one knows what's going on at this point.
Well, look, I know, and we're all just sort of speculating here, but two things I find really fascinating here. Number one, and we all know that Donald Trump sometimes has personality clashes with people, but very often he initiates those. This is a case, though, where it seems like, looking through the timeline, Elon Musk very much provoked this fight, and I'm thinking that just when it comes to the nature of money versus power, he may have the money, but Donald Trump has the power, and some of this stuff that he's been doing, I think, he's maybe cut himself a bit loose, even though he's got a fair point about this fiscal state of the United States.
Yeah, that's the thing here. Usually you hit Donald Trump, it's an immediate counterpunch. In this case, it took days before Trump responded. And really, I mean, Musk was just egging as far as a bunch of stuff, again, on social media, which were very personal, very snarky. And you would think the men hated each other their whole lives. But Trump finally had to respond. But he almost looks like the adult here to this point compared to Musk as far as what exactly he's trying to communicate here. And I'm talking about Elon Musk because, everybody thinks that we could cut more in spending, but you can't pass a bill with the minorities the majorities, I should say, Republicans have in the House and the Senate, which are very, very slim. In order to pass this, what Elon Musk wants is not based in reality. Politics is the possibility of the possible, right? In other words, you have to be able to live in a pragmatic world in order to say, okay, we want to cut all these things, but also have tax cuts. Well, you can't have both. In this case, Donald Trump wants growth. As far as like the deficit, that's something different altogether. But I think Elon Musk is definitely looking like he's in the wrong here. And the fact that he doesn't have a plan that he's offering up himself says a lot about what this argument's about.
Well, I mean, and that's right, Joe. I mean, Elon Musk did spend all of that time, the 130 days, running Doge, and he found a lot of things, he cut a lot of things, but ultimately it hasn't produced anywhere near the sort of savings that were promised to us all when he came in and he was given that commission.
Yeah, he wanted 1 trillion in cuts. He found about 175 billion. Now he found it, but he can't just cut it, right? I mean, the Congress has to do that. It's recommendations.
He found way more than
at this
that.
point.
It was close to like 800.
Here's the thing, and I don't want to go into the weeds too much for your audience, but basically the Big Beautiful Bill is about.
I just find it strange how these government fucking ball lickers, the minute their guy's in trouble and the guy who helped get them there is automatically demonized as the bad guy. That's incredible. This guy looks like a worm, too. I don't like him.
Mandatory spending cuts. What Elon Musk found in Doge is discretionary. And that's a second bill that Trump says is coming, and we'll start to cut based on Elon Musk's recommendations. But in the Big Beautiful Bill, that's not about what Elon Musk found, but he seems to be confused as far as what can be done in this bill and what can be done in a future bill. And I think that the president's team and the president himself has tried to tell Musk this, but he's just not listening at this point. The bottom line is that you can't run the government like you can a company like Twitter, for example, when he bought it, where you just start cutting stuff. There's a lot of other things involved. There are Congresses and Senates and majorities and minorities. It's just not the way that Elon Musk thinks it should go, because that's just not the way government works.
Yeah, and I mean, look, I just think that it's such a shame, and I keep saying it, that the U.S. is headed for a fiscal cliff, and you take these personalities out of it, the same problem still exists, and this is going to have to be sorted out one way or the other. But, in the meantime, there's a lot of other things going on here. We had President Trump imposing a travel ban on citizens from...
This is all going to lead back to the Great Reset. These countries are too far in debt, and they just want to reset everything. Well, guess what, you guys? You haven't learned any fiscal responsibility. You could reset it 1,000,000 times. If you don't learn responsibility, we'll be back in the same position 80 years from now again. It's just a cycle that will not stop.
12 countries, Afghanistan, Yemen, Iran, a bunch of others, and a partial ban on some other ones. Now, this is not the first time President Trump has evoked a ban, but this has got the left absolutely up in arms. Yet when you look at the executive order, it seems to me it's got some good reasons, including the fact that a lot of these countries, about 20% of the people who come in, overstay their visas.
Yes, exactly. And we saw that recently in Boulder, Colorado, where a man who overstayed his visa from Egypt then got 2 work permits through the Biden administration, then declared asylum, which means you get to stay longer because the system's so overwhelmed it can't hear your case for years, and then carried out what looked like a reenactment of the Holocaust, where he literally tried to light elderly Jews on fire who were just gathering to call for the release of Israeli hostages from Gaza who had been there since October 7th of 2023. And this guy goes in and basically throws Molotov cocktails at them and tries to murder.
All right. That's pretty much for the video. They just kind of talk about other stuff there. Can't play too much of that. I'll get in trouble with YouTube. I don't have special immunities like the other press does. So we'll switch over here to Twitter here. And all right. So as you see here, Elon posted this. It seems like he's taken down the rest of the posts from yesterday. He seems to have calmed down a bit from yesterday, but this one is still up. Is it time to create a new political party in America that actually represents the 80% of the middle? Over 5.6 million people voted. So 5,630,775 people voted. 80% voted for yes, 19.6 voted for no. And this was seen by 72 million people. It's almost a third of the U.S. that's seen this post. Well, you could equate it to the U.S. Like this is from all around the world, but that many people is almost a third of the U.S.'s population. So things are getting interesting out here in the States. Let me know what you guys think about everything that's going on right now. And to correlate the whole Trump thing with Canadian politics, Trump and Mark have ties together, and they've both apparently are on that Epstein list. That's all just speculation. It's not truth because it hasn't been seen, so we can only speculate on it. But that is the rumor that they are both on that list, and that's what the dirt that they hold over each other. So nothing can really be done by either of them against each other because they hold this dirt over each other. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. You guys have a beautiful Friday, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye.